issue this time around, as his Targaryen history has already been fully published, but changes are inevitable in any adaptation. Part of the appeal of A Song of Ice and Fire is the sheer number of characters introduced throughout the story. While great lords and famous knights always play key roles in major occurrences, the series often focuses on lesser-known players who end up having a major impact on world events. Think of Shae, Bronn, or Arya from Game of Thrones.
Stars don't fall from men. Red comet means one thing, boy. Dragons.
If you haven't read Fire and Blood, then you won't know yet who Blood and Cheese are. At first glance, the names don't even make sense. However, think of Shae, Bronn, or Arya from Game of Thrones.
Stars don't fall from men. Red comet means one thing, boy. Dragons.
If you haven't read Fire and Blood, then you won't know yet who Blood and Cheese are. At first glance, the names don't even make sense. However, think of Shae, Bronn, or Arya from Game of Thrones.
Stars don't fall from men. Red comet means one thing, boy. Dragons.
If you haven't read Fire and Blood, then you won't know yet who Blood and Cheese are. At first glance, the names don't even make sense. However, think of Shae, Bronn, or Arya from Game of Thrones.
Stars don't fall from men. Red comet means one thing, boy.
These two mercenaries play a pivotal role in the dance of the Dragons, and the writers have confirmed that their storyline is a part of House of the Dragon Season 2. For those not in the know, brace yourselves. As of now, there's been no official confirmation of who will play the two oddly named characters, though some reports claim that Mark Stobbart will play Cheese and Sam C. Wilson will play Blood. Time will tell, but what's for certain is that the plotline will likely be just as dramatic in the show as it is in the book. Cregan Stark, Blood, and Cheese aren't the only new faces coming in House of the Dragon Season 2, with both sides of the war recruiting as many allies as they can. Tons of additional characters are joining the cast, and
Hello, test, test. Okay, that's working. So I'm trying to figure out how to send music audio and hello, test, test. Okay, that's working. And like for example, this YouTube video audio to the stream. And the recording send music audio, but to prevent the music audio from getting into the VOD. YouTube video audio to the stream. So I think I have that set. Brave is set to isolate 6. Apple Music isolate 6. And camera is non-issue. All hail the godparent of Femboys World. Oh my god. Give me a break. VLC is VOD. Okay, hang on. So, this is getting ridiculous. All hail the godparent of Femboys World. Okay, it looks like I've got the settings right. No, Vanna, music, the music, I want the music to go to the local recording, and I want it to go to the stream, but I don't want it to go to the VOD. So I've enabled that feature, hang on, let me open. In the output setting, I enabled Twitch VOD track, and then I assigned it to 6. So theoretically, anything goes to audio track 6 goes to the VOD. And then in the advanced audio setup, I have the music sources, which are 2 different sources. They are disabled for track 6, so they don't go to the VOD, but they're enabled for track 1, so they go to the stream. And that's supposed to be how it works. But I know the recording works, but in the VOD, I'm missing both the music audio and then like the YouTube audio. And I'd like the YouTube audio to get into the VOD, but not the music audio. So like I said, the recording works. And I just heard now by watching the stream on my phone that the music and the VOD, the music audio is working. I think the mask is done, Vanimal. Oh, no, it's not done. I have to, shit, let me turn this into an impromptu stream. Ooh, I can hear the music. So theoretically, I have music. I have background music. So the mask is. Hang on, let me turn this guy off. Window capture off. The mask is done. Right. In essence. The part that isn't done is specifically straw. Okay. So the wires there are exposed. So I have to insulate those wires and then fix them somehow to the mask so that they're not free floating. So Maddie streams tonight. So if she doesn't end too late, I'll just knock that out. But everything else is done. No, not electrical tape. Electrical tape is awful if you want it to sit a long time, because the adhesive starts to leak out. So I'm gonna have I have small diameter heat shrink tubing, so I'll just slip some of that on it, and I gotta put a shield so that when I hit this with my hot air gun, it doesn't destroy or it doesn't overheat the mask, because I don't know what the heat is gonna do to the adhesive, and I don't know what the heat's gonna do to the paint. Probably nothing, but I don't want to risk it. So I'll put some aluminum foil underneath the wire to absorb and deflect heat. Since you're watching, let me do this. Oh, I can't stand up. Oh my god. Almost had an accident. I can't. Oh my god. So there. Yeah. Can't see that. So that is now working. So you can see the angle that the. So if the person just wore it, it would look like that. If they wear it with a power brick attached with USB-C, that's what they'll see. So the cable is going to come out this way. Huh, hang on a second. Cable. Okay, you can't see anything. So I bought this USB cable. Let me see if this is the right one. How do we get Maddie to wear that on stream? When I make her one, I should make her one. This is mask number 3 that I've ever made in my life. So there will be a 4. I just have to decide what kind of mask it's going to be, if it's going to be a mask, and then who it's for. So Maddie gets nothing until she gets something. I don't know why. Oh, I know why I bought these headphones. Got to be careful not to stand up. Well, a 90 degree is gonna, remember, a person's head is gonna be right here. So a 90 degree is actually going to direct the cable into their head. It can't be a 90 degree. It has to be like see, the mask is curved, like a person's head's gonna be. So if it was 90 degree, you know, the cable is going to be right in their head. It has to be a lower angle, you know. And I know they make, micro USB with an adjustable angle. I don't know if they're making the USB-Cs like that yet. It's probably out there. When are you going to get a VTuber model? Those cost money. I'll copy Jay's. I like how this black came out. Jeez, it's better than the silver one. I should go with these black ones going forward. The first one I made was silver, and the second one I made, the one that Finn got, was silver. But this black actually looks really nice. I'll get a VTuber model that looks just like me. That's defeating the purpose of it being a VTuber model. Yeah, awkward fat guy. That's actually how the original one was intended. That it goes over the ear, and your ear acts as a strain relief to carrying some of the weight. But you know, Finn never. I don't know that Finn ever wore it again after he wore it on stream, and I don't know that he ever you know, put it on display. Because it was really ideally a wall decoration. Dongo. Oh, hang on. I want to check something. 1 second. Oh, I can't hear the stream, but I can still talk. So let me listen to. I want to listen to the stream audio, which will actually be a couple seconds behind. Hang on. 1 moment. My backpack has a thing for charging wires, like a whole plastic hard shell protection, maybe a bag with the. Well, I never bothered to give Finn a solution for carrying a battery pack, and I probably won't for the person this mask is intended for. It's really up to them how they want to run it, because that's highly personal. You know, some people already have purses, some people already have carry bags. So it's like, I don't want to give them another bag. Okay, there's my stream. Oh man, this is cool. I can hear the audio. So if this works as expected, I shouldn't have the music audio in the VOD. Let me turn on the window capture. Oh, I have an adjustment in there.
We already have confirmation about a lot of them. Freddie Fox will play Sir Gawain Hightower, son of Otto Hightower, and brother to Alicent. Simon Russell Beale is set to play Sir Simon Strong, great uncle of the ever-conniving Lord Laris Strong. Gail Rankin will play a healer at Harrenhal named Alice Rivers, and Abu Bakr Salim will play Alan of Hull, a soldier in the Valerian army. Two of these characters, Alice and Sir Simon, have direct ties to Harrenhal. That makes sense, as the massive haunted castle plays a key role.
Why is it still going? Jesus. Okay. So I was having a problem yesterday doing this because I was using, I was listening to Lo-Fi Girl, and I was listening to a YouTube video clip, but in the same browser. So even though I had two audio capture sources in the scene, one for Firefox, I'll just call it Window 1, and then one for Firefox Window 2, all the audio would end up in one window, one channel. Excuse me. Excuse me. All the video would end up in one channel, so it was like it was not doing what I wanted it to do. So even if I told it, choose based on the window title, which is specific and unique, it was still combining the two Firefox windows producing audio together. So I don't know, but I'll bet that if I had turned audio on in another Firefox window, I would have heard yet a third source. So it's like I gotta figure it out. Abby's in the House of Dragons. She hides it bigger in Star Wars. Yeah, I haven't seen the Star Wars thing. I'm gonna reactivate my Disney subscription for the month, just to watch that show and maybe watch Andor. Yeah, but the Star Wars thing, I thought she'd had a bigger role, but it's like it turns out she's like a supporting cast member. I don't know what role she plays in. I haven't seen anything more about House of Dragons, so I don't know how big her role's going to be, but that is very interesting stuff. And I know she had announced it, how she was having to do a lot of workouts to get ready, so she was suggesting it was an action thing. But for whatever reason, well, it's because I didn't really care what it was. I had no clue that it might end up being House of the Dragon. But I mean, that's got to be better than the whatever the Lord of the Rings thing is called, the Rings of Power, which is pretty bad. I mean, as much as I like the fact that Rings of Power fills in lore, or it dramatizes more of the lore, because it's not official, they have to be careful with how they use the IP without violating the IP. So it's a weaker product as a result. I still like it in principle, just like I like a lot of these productions where it shows us more of the world building that went on that would have never been shown in one movie or in a trilogy. But at the same time, it's the stuff that a lot of the elitists and the purists are like, oh, they poo-poo it because The story's bad. You know, who knew people cared about the story? Oh, I gotta put this away. I never put this away. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't expect Abby to get like huge roles in these IPs from the get go. Um, you know, not to trash her, but she's not an A-lister. She's really still getting her foot in the industry. But I mean, this is how she's gonna get more and bigger roles. So this is totally cool. So the fact that she's gonna get, you know, maybe supporting characters, that's fine because, you know, there's lots of actors who build careers on supporting characters. Um, and then there's a lot of actors that start that way and then they become, you know, the next Brad Pitt or whatever, or the next Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever that guy's name is, British dude. British. I gotta vote. My God, what's the due date on this? I got a mail by the 7th, I think, which should be Friday. What's today? I don't know. Okay, I gotta put that away. Gotta put that away. Okay. Ah. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Norman. I mean, you have to sell a show for the masses. It's got to have mass appeal, or it won't happen. I mean, if like some millionaire funded doing the not I'm saying Halo, but it's not Halo. It's Ring World. If someone did Niven's Ring World, dramatize that, there's a lot of nerds who would totally watch that. You know, just like how there's Dune nerds. There's so many people, myself included, that would totally watch a Niven movie. The problem is a Niven movie will not get mainstream funding. It will not get mainstream release because it's the wrong kind of sci-fi. You know, that's how you end up getting Starship Troopers, which seems like a parody, but when you know, the book isn't a parody. The book is commentary about the military lifestyle and other things. But the movie is a parody that's poking fun at fascism and overtly Nazi symbolism. And you know, it's based on Starship Troopers. It's not Starship Troopers. Um, which is unfortunate because, you know, it's an interesting story. It's just they did it as a fucking parody. No? And I think that's I forgot that director's name. I think that's his way of saying I didn't really want to read the book and I didn't really want to understand the book. I'm just going to make my own damn movie based on the book. So that's what we get. So that's like Rings of Power. Those are clearly stories from an earlier age, from the material that we've all read, but it's not. It's an interpretation, not because the director was lazy, but because the director didn't have the rights. So, same kind of result, but for different reasons. Silmarillion would make a great TV series because the Silmarillion isn't one story, right? It's multiple stories about different sets of characters. You know, different ages, different characters. So it couldn't be a single movie, you know, start to finish. It couldn't be a trilogy, you know, long like what Jackson did it, but it would work as a TV show. But you know, I don't know that hour-long episodes would justify. I mean, it'd have to be like 3 hours per individual story in the Silmarillion, which could still work, but you know, no one's going to pay for that. You're going to need to find some millionaire willing to pay for that. I'm still saying. In fact, let me dose up on stream. Is that within toss? We'll find out. So I'll drink an appropriate, scientifically determined amount. This stuff is actually kind of working. I mean, it alleviates symptoms. That's all it's supposed to do. Awful. Where's my... Okay, so anyway, everyone, this was supposed to just be audio testing. Only testing, are we gonna stream? No, that's just it. I'm about to say that I need to, I actually haven't started my day, so I just wanted to do this real quick to test the audio because yeah, I done it yesterday and it failed. Um, I think it's actually working because the thing I did differently today was I used two different web browsers. I used Brave for the Lo-Fi Girl, which is the audio I don't want to go on the pod, but that I do want to go to the stream, and then I have Firefox, which is the main browser I use, and I have Firefox as the video as the browser for video watching. So if I do React streams, I would be using Firefox, and it looks like my mistake yesterday was also using Firefox for the background music. Want to hang out till Maddie, or do you have shit? I have shit to do. I have to almost every day. I got to go to the market to pick up like one thing or another, and I definitely have to do that. I have an item I have to pick up, and I do have to drop by the pharmacy. So basically, every morning I have to run small errands. Ironically, they would work really well if my scooter was running, because then I could save a lot of the fuel. But then it's kind of hot in Vegas right now, so it's miserable. But you know what's funny, and I haven't thought of this, is I haven't ridden a serious ride post HRT, and there are consequences for my heat tolerance. And interesting. Hadn't thought of that. Because I wear full gear. So even in summer, I'm going to wear full gear. Well, I take the back. I'll wear full gear on the bike, but on the scooter, sometimes I'll dress down. I'll wear the jacket and the helmet and gloves, but I'll wear shorts. Which is, I'm just choosing where I want the road rash to go. Yeah, but okay. So the thing in Vegas is it's hot, right? So you wear gear. The gear keeps the sun off you. The gear keeps the hot wind off you, and those two things are the big things that get you. But what people assume is that you're going to be freaking hot under the gear, and it's like that's not actually true. I mean, if you're wearing leather because you're into leather and you think that's what riders have to wear, okay, leather gear is usually not tailored to be breathable. They tend not to have all the panels that open on textile gear. So leather is ultimately better in a crash in terms of abrasion resistance, but it's horrible if you want to wear them 3 season. Very few people are actually 4-season riders. But if you wear textile gear, you can literally buy textile gear that's designed for summer wear. So I'm on my second set of summer wear gear, and basically it's just a textile jacket that has a lot of panels that open up. So you open up all the panels, but the thing is designed so that it's still a coherent garment. And so if you hit the ground, the pads are still in the right place, and the parts of you that normally get abraded, the parts that hit the ground are still protected. And then you still have the mesh that keeps sunlight off you, and then most of the wind is still deflected. So I mean, it's functional in Death Valley. So I've talked about how I've ridden in Death Valley several times in the summer in 115 degree plus heat, and I didn't die. And I didn't die because I was wearing decent gear. Wait, who's starting drum with Sussy Ducky? Fill my biker clothing line by Amoy. No, more like Rhea, Peachy. But then maybe all her stuff would look like Spider-Gwen. Still be kind of cool. Yeah, today is there's supposed to be a heat what do they call it? Excessive heat warning for today and tomorrow, I think. So that probably just means it's going to be over. It's going to be over 110, maybe touching, getting close to 115. That's actually not too common a temperature in Vegas. I mean, we'll get 110s and a little over, but I think Phoenix actually sees 115 and higher more often than we do. So Vegas gets the rep for being hot in the summer, but actually Phoenix is worse. $110 in real units? Maybe 40? I like how they got the built-in AB. Celsius to Fahrenheit, 2232 Fahrenheit. Holy shit. 110. Wow, 110 is 43 Celsius. Yeah, there you go, man. Got it. So what's 100? Because we've been having 100s the last few days. 100 is, oops, how come oh my god, how does this work? What the fuck? What the fuck? I have no idea what I'm doing. 100's got to be like 38. There you go. Yeah, 38 is 100.4 Fahrenheit. That's actually not bad. 100 is totally fine. It's the sunlight. Vegas sun is so bright. I don't know if it's because we're at a little higher elevation. No, minus 40 is minus 40, not minus 20. Is minus 20 also one? I know minus 40 is the same in both scales. I want to cook on her bun stream. You know, I want to do an IRL stream, but the problem is the places I want to go have bad reception. So the park I go to do my night walks is one bar if I'm lucky, and then the place I went to with the dog park, it's just inconsistent, and that's because I live at the edge of town, so I'm at the edge of the coverage. You know, because the coverage maps lie, right? So Vegas is supposed to have really good coverage wall to wall, but you know, in reality, it's like, yeah, no. Now, there are parks in like my old neighborhood. There's a nice dog park. It's just a long way away, and there's good coverage there. I could go there, and it's actually in a slightly cooler part of town because Vegas is a valley, right? And it's also it's not a flat valley. The northwestern corner of the valley is higher than the southeastern corner, and I'm close to the southeastern corner. And so it's a couple degrees. It can be a couple degrees warmer on my end of town than at the other end of town. So I used to live on the other end of town, so it would be hot there. But if I drove down to visit where I live now is where my parents used to live. If I drove down to here, it would be a little bit hotter. Well, no, Mizo, it's Vegas isn't quite a bowl, but it is a valley, but it's relatively flat within the valley. So there aren't many. Well, we have what passes as ridges, but more or less it's a tilted plain. So there are a few places if you wanted to, you could hide in the shadow of a hill. But overall, if you average it out, it's really just a valley that has a tilted floor. No, because a canyon, it would be, I'd think of that as as a tighter. A canyon is what a valley becomes when the valley is opened up after enough time. Well, it's not a canyon because it's not that narrow. The mountains, the wall, the mountains are further apart. So and actually the what is it? The a lot of the landforms here are, I think, alluvial flats. So it's stuff that came off of the mountains. So it's actually in the process of filling back in, I think. What's up, Preston? So, Preston, this is not an official stream. It was just me playing with audio, but then people showed up for some reason. And I'm hoping my audio setup is actually working. Who's up? Wow, Baron's up. Jen is up. Aoife's up. Yeah, I'm officially not awake. I haven't done my morning thing yet. Well, I did have my morning thing. Oh, you know what I haven't done is I haven't taken my drugs. Prescription drugs. What's today? Today is hang on one second. I got screwed up with my let me check. Dose tracking. So the 10th, I was supposed to take it on the 10th and the 24th. What? 29. Oh yeah. So okay, so my last dose was delayed, so it screwed up my brain. But this Friday is my my injection, so I could literally do that on screen or on stream. Yeah, Bawoon streams. Bawoon streams, and I don't know if you guys know Des VT. He's a mod in Peach's community. So he streams as well. But you know, you guys know Bawoon from a lot of different places. So he does gaming streams, if I recall correctly. But yeah, my next injection is Friday, so I can actually stream that. Oh, I'd have to show naked thigh though. Oh my god. I think. Oh, I guess if I totally messed up the camera work. I know. Shoot. Showing stuff. I mean, not that there's anything to see, but. Oh, is the music still? It's probably still going. What I have to figure out is in my earbuds I hear the music, the lo-fi girl music. It's fairly loud. So when I've got the YouTube video going, they're really competing. But what gets in the VOD and what you guys hear on stream is actually lower because I've got an audio setting. It's at like 10% volume for the stream. So you hear it quieter than I hear it. And so I haven't figured out how I can hear the output from the stream. Because I'm hearing it from, I use Voice Meter on the desktop. So I'm hearing it out of that. But Voice Meter has a lot of different output options. So there might be a way where I can get, no, actually it wouldn't be Voice Meter. It'd have to come out of OBS. Probably an audio output device. I could not do e-shot on stream because when I do shots, I am in butt cheek. Yeah, I do it in the thigh, so it's a safe part. I'm actually doing it on the front of the thigh. So as I sit down, it's the top. But I also have done it on the side. But it turns out the top is easier for leverage sake. But I have to have a camera that's actually on a fixed mount, and I don't have anything like that. Yeah, there is a way to monitor an OBS. You know, and I'm sure there is, because OBS OBS is like a Swiss Army knife, right? So with a Swiss Army knife, you use the 2 or 3 tools that you always use, but then you've always got the, you know, the fish scaler in there, or the brad puller that you never use, but it's there if you need it. So I'm sure there's a plugin in there already that handles it. It's just that once it's in OBS, I've got to find out how that's exposed to the system so that I can route that to my outputs. Because on my computer, I have the motherboard audio, then I have 2 separate USB plug-in audio interfaces. So a microphone input and a stereo output. So I have 1, 2, 3 output and inputs. No, 3 outputs and 2 inputs, in addition to the microphone and then the headphone, which also has a microphone. So I got a lot of devices, which is why I got Voicemeeter way back when, so I could control all the devices. But it's like, okay, add streaming to the mix, and it's like, no, I need to dumb it down. I need to not use all these Voicemeeter features, which means I just basically mute all of the outputs. And I just use the one output for my earbuds, but that's the one where I hear everything at my volume level, not the level that the stream gets. So I need what the stream gets, but I'm getting there. I got to figure that out, and then I got to figure out. Hinga was saying I need alerts, audible alerts, and then I still have to work on the emotes. Too much. If I was actually a streamer, I mean, that would be like a priority in my life, but I'm not really a streamer. When you pull up the audio menu thingy, or you can select what to send to what channel, there is a monitor check. But how do I listen to the monitor output? Where does that come? Because I bet you voice meter is probably going to be interfering. Holy shit, look at all these devices. Default audio channel, which means default audio channel means it's exposed to voice meter. But voice meter is also hearing my local Brave browser and my local Firefox browser. So how does it not stomp all over? Well, you know, that's just it, Vanna. It feeds the earbuds, but the problem is, if you have more than one audio output device, which one am I plugging into? Because, like I said, I have 3 audio interfaces. I have three hardware audio interfaces. So so I have one USB device that I use to drive my loudspeakers. I don't use its microphone input. And then I have another one, which is under my desk here. This one I use to plug my earphones in. So I actually don't use the motherboard audio, because motherboard audio is microphone and stereo audio out. So if the monitor goes to motherboard video, then that's where I need to plug these in. So let me see what happens. Which one is it? Oh, I got it covered. Is that microphone? Headphone. Okay, so I am now plugged in. Let me turn on the monitor. I'm plugged in. My earbuds are now connected to the motherboard audio. So if I turn on the monitor, oh shit, what did I do the monitor for? Brave? And I hear nothing. Shit. No, that's what I'm doing, Mizo. I have different audio sources. That's how I'm getting the audio. I'm not using like a display capture to get all the audio that's in apps that are in a display. I'm using audio application. I'm using application specific audio. So I have an input device for Brave. I have an input device for Firefox. I have a device for Discord and a device for VLC. So I can isolate each one of those. But the other problem, which I'm not solving yet, is how I can hear stream output instead of the local stuff. So basically, my problem is I'm hearing the locally produced audio at locally produced volume. I'm not hearing what the stream hears. So I'm hearing from you guys that I need to use the monitor output. I just need to find out how I can hear that. It bugs me that the audio ports on my case are upward facing. So where does dust go? Your mic has an output. The mic has an output, but well, that's only going to listen to what the mic gets. I need to listen to what the basically I need the output. I need the output that comes out of the OBS mixer. And again, there's an audio monitoring control, but I don't know where that audio actually goes. Oh, hang on, let me check voice meter. So voice meter has like a ton of devices. Hands-free AG. Yeah, see, I was hoping I would see like an OBS device, but I'm only seeing my microphone devices. I'm only seeing my. This is so complicated. Yeah, so voice meter exposes all these audio sources, and it's just crazy. Not really the levels meso, more like the first thing I need to know is I need to find out is where I can get the output I want. I channel everything to it through the system audio. Yeah, and my mic has an output on the back, but it's what the microphone is hearing. Let me see if it. Okay, now I'm plugged in. Now I'm plugged into the microphone. So now I'm getting the audio from my microphone. So I no longer hear the lo-fi girl music, which I can hear plugged in elsewhere. So that just proves that my microphone is not where my microphone is input only. It's not really giving me anything. Whatever. Well, I probably need to stop using voice meter. The problem is I've gotten used to voice meter for controlling my audio. So I mean, I'm using voice meter because I deliberately started using the separate USB audio input and outputs, because I didn't want to use the PC's the motherboard's audio and then have a physical splitter. I wanted separate digital outputs for each thing so I can control everything separately. So I have a separate digital output for my loudspeakers, and then I have a separate output for my headphones. They're all different devices. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I mean, I don't want to buy hardware, right? Ideally, I don't want to buy software either, but it might be that I have to stop using a voice meter. But I've just been using voice meter for so long. I mean, I built this PC at the end of 2018. I probably determined I needed voice meter probably first quarter of 2019 because I was trying to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish. I'll bet you on my Mac would have been easier because I have an audio routing software on my Mac that it's all visual, drag and drop, and you can draw the connections. So all your audio inputs appear and all your audio outputs appear, and you can drag and drop connections between them pretty arbitrarily. So if you have 3 inputs, but you only want 2 of them to go to loudspeakers, and then 2 of them to go to your second audio interface, you can do that. So you can split the audio graphically, so the digital audio stream can get routed multiple places without loss. And then you can also, which is what I was using for, you could also use it to route the audio from your browser to a disk file, which is what I bought the software for. I bought it to allow me to save to a disk file audio that was streaming off of a browser but still be able to do other things independently of that. So I could still listen to music through my headphones and or the loudspeakers, and it wouldn't interfere with the stream audio that was getting recorded to disc, because I could control the pathing of the audio graphically. So it was kind of neat. Yeah, that's a thing, Van. It's like everyone can. There's lots of people that can help, but they have to use this. They have to use the same software you're using. So I have to. And if the suggestion is we'll stop using that software, well, shit, I've already thought that's probably a solution. So, and that is the problem. There are so many solutions to the problem. It's like, and most people do not have the time or expertise to know all the solutions. They know one or two because it's the one or two they use. So, I mean, Nano made fun of me for using voice meter. Well, that just told me she doesn't use voice meter. That doesn't tell me that voice meter is bad. It just tells me she doesn't use it. So to her, it wasn't something to use. Okay. Some people poo-poo shit only because they don't use it. Right? They know what they use and it works for them. So therefore, what you use has to be garbage, because otherwise they'd be using it. It's like, no, this is like what I found when I went searching. I'll figure it out eventually. I just don't. I can't do it all. I can't do it all right away. It's just a problem I'm noticing. I mean, literally, the first problem I need to solve is I need to have audio that doesn't go to the VOD but goes to the stream, and I think I've got it. Now I just need to make it so that listening to it on my end, that I'm not getting drowned by one of the audio sources. Because literally, Lo-Fi Girl should sound low volume to me, and I can make that happen by turning the volume down on my end. But then that turns the volume down on the stream end, and I'd have to juggle with that. Well, I found videos actually that talk about voice meter as one way you can do the split audio. But as often as I'd heard people doing it, suggested that you literally did not need a third-party audio solution to do split audio or isolated audio. So right off the bat, it's like, okay, I'm probably one step beyond where I need to be, because I'm not some person starting to stream with not having done anything else ahead of time. I was already doing stuff ahead of time for the particular itches I wanted to scratch. I already came up with a solution on my own. I didn't look up how do I do this. I just looked at what voice meter could do and what other apps could do. Well, I decided what I needed to have done, and I saw that voice meter did it, so I bought it. But what voice meter does is not strictly compatible or not strictly applicable to what streamers do with respect to having an isolated audio that goes to the stream but not the VOD. It might be closer to what a musician might need, but I don't think it's the right program, because Maddie doesn't use it. She uses a different program, and actually hers looks more like a mixing program. Voice meter is not a mixing program. There might be something in their line that's a mixing program, but I'm using voice meter Banana, which is really just a multiple input and output controller. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, Mizo, because like OBS might have come out without the capability and then they added it in. So here's how I reduce the volume. I take out one ear, so now it's less oppressive. What time is it? 11:40? Oh my God, I gotta get going. Jesus, I'm gonna go until exactly an hour. Yeah, OBS does everything. I'm glad I got OBS instead of Slobs. Streamlabs? Because I'd read something about how Streamlabs is evil way back when. So it's like, oh, if I ever use it's back when I wanted to install OBS so I could learn how it worked. And then I was looking it up. It's like, what's the difference between Streamlabs OBS and OBS? Then I read, oh shit. So they've just really taken an open source thing and then somehow privatized it, which technically is illegal because it's an open source original. So, yeah. I mean, you can't get away from the evil, but I mean, if you can avoid the evil in the first place, I'll do that. So, yeah, I'll figure it out. Like I learned this technique where instead of having multiple sound sources in each OBS scene, you make a scene that has all your audio sources in it, and then you can nest that scene in the other scenes. So so rather than having to put 4 different audio devices in each scene, you can have 4 audio devices in one base scene, and then just add that scene to all the other scenes. So that's handy. I'm doing that too with my my logo and my wallpaper. So that is a nested scene, and then so that's present here. That's the same nested background, and then I also have it here, but because these have a full screen face cam, you don't see them, but they're under there. So if I turned off this, yeah, see, he's back there. So that's like a cool feature, you know. If you do layering in graphics, you know, sometimes you'll build artwork where you'll have a common layer, and it's always there, but it's obscured on you know, certain compositions because you'll turn a layer on that's above it. So if I ever turn this off, if I'm in this scene and I ever turn this off, boom, there's my little background and that's actually the Amaretto logo. That's I sent a picture of my 2 dogs. Oh, Amaretto was still around then. He hadn't passed yet. So I sent a picture of Amaretto and Katya to this artist, and she just cartoonified them. And so I have a cartoon version of Amaretto, who is the original Amoya, and then I have a cartoon version of Katya. So Katya is going to be a similar looking but brown head, and then this is Amaretto, who's the white head. Twitch Studio is low priority, actually, so low that Twitch Beta with multiple video streams in the same package is an own studio build, not Twitch Studio. Isn't Twitch Studio the thing they're discontinuing? Oh, you know, the other thing I got to figure out is I know from watching Finn's streams, he doesn't use the Twitch stream or streamer. So he doesn't use, what do they call it, the creator mode in the Twitch app. He's using some third party, I think. So because I'll do IRL streams with the dogs and around town, I want to get a better app for the phone. But that slobs on his desktop, right? I think I might have heard that in one of our mod chats, but you know, there's no way in hell he's gonna switch over. No way at all. Because yeah, I more and more I don't know if you. So I'm sure some of you have noticed it, but it's like when you watch enough streams, you realize that there's a lot of control that they have with what they're doing. So like different scenes and what they can do in scenes, and how easy it is to like open up to capture a window and display the contents. So if you've been around software enough, or the apps you've seen, you're thinking, oh, what an interesting program they must be using that does that. It's probably got, you know, a lot of little bells and whistles to make that happen. So it's easy to imagine that once one of those things is set up, that the streamer, probably doesn't want to set it up again, or in fact doesn't actually know how to set it up because they had it set up for them and they don't actually know how it works. But you know, they figure it out over time, certain features. But I think it's completely believable that they're only using the features they know. Just like in my case, I'm only using the features I know, but I'm slowly adding things because, you know, I asked that question, how can I do this? And so I'll go through lists of like available sources to see if the answer to my question is already there. And then if I don't find the answer, then what do? I Google it and see if there's a plugin. So that's something a lot of us will do automatically because we've got some idea of how software might work and how it might be extended by the creators and how it might be extended by users. But that might not occur to someone who's like a computer novice. So they're good at video games. They're good at um, the Word Excel combination because they learned that in school, but they're not really computer people. There's some cool transition effects between the scenes. Yeah, Peachy's got a neat one but it's like I don't really switch scenes. I don't know, maybe someday. Actually, I was kind of hung up on that because I found when I first set this up, I went to Stream Elements, and so Stream Elements has sets of scenes, right? And so the scenes have a styling that's consistent. So you can get this whole pack of scenes that's like, oh great, I'm like halfway there, but it's like, how do I do it on my own, or why do I need all this stuff? And it's like I don't. So I have these installed, but I'm never going to use these because I don't want it to look like that. But I thought I needed it because I thought I needed that. I thought I needed these scenes. It's like, no, you're just being a dumbass. All you just need is you just need to start with a blank scene and throw on your face cam. Then if you want to, you throw on a window capture. It's like, so that's why my development scene has all this crap in it, because it's just I was just throwing stuff in it, and then I just distilled it down to these, which are still not attractive, but at least they're cleaned up. So I might eventually get to the point where it's like a neat looking layout. So like Maddie's got a nice layout that's functional. Astra's got a nice layout that's functional. So I have functional, but to me it's not nice. So I'll get there. Oh yeah, a notification. Yeah, the alerts is confusing because some of the tutorials just tell you, oh, you need to load stream elements, or you need to, insert X. It's like, no, you can do alerts in Twitch, but then you can also do alerts in stream elements, and you can also do alerts in Streamlabs, and you can also do alerts in X, Y, and Z. So you can have alerts coming from multiple sources all at the same time. So, God help me when I try to figure out how donos and all that works. I assume since I use Stream Elements, I can find that in Stream Elements, but I don't know. Non-streamer making streamer plans. Exactly. No, it's because I want features. It's not because I want to be a streamer. Well, functional is like a minimal level of it works. So functional for me would be like if I turned off all this, and just had the face cam, that would be functional. Actually, it would be more like this. So if I go to this one, or no chat, I just have the small camera and the big camera. So this would be functional. It's got the main camera, and then it's got, oh look, I've got a shitty old webcam, so I might as well use it. So this is functional. But then I want a chat, right? And then you go, well, I don't want a chat that's huge. I need to put it somewhere. So this is something annoying. So this chat comes from Stream Elements. So if I want to move that chat's relative location on my screen, I cannot do it in OBS. I have to go to Stream Elements, edit that, what basically is a web page in Stream Elements, and then I need to, since that's a web page, I need to get the URL for it and then bring that into OBS as a what's the device called, or the source called? It's called a browser source. So I have a browser source for alerts and a browser source for the chat box. So anything I do in Stream Elements, basically I'm making another browser source. It's like, but that's not in any manual somewhere. It's like you got to learn it when you Google it for the accessory you're using. So I'm using Stream Elements, so I have to look it up in Stream Elements. You need cows 40 windows open? No, I don't, but still. I want to get a better camera, but I got to get hard drives first. I need more hard drives for VOD storage. gaming giant cheered. How do you cheer? I didn't even know you could do that. I don't even know if that's set up right. You know what I don't have set up right is I have Ko-fi for donations, which I was using before on my website. So it's like I probably should connect PayPal, but PayPal I only have it in my real name, and I've got to see how I can do it with an alternative name. Yeah, thanks, Mizo. I'm gonna try to, like most things, I'm gonna try to figure it out on my own, and only in like when I'm the most desperate will I reach out. Partly because I'll learn more if I'm trying to figure it out. Because I'll ask like basic questions because I kind of want to have some idea of like where the data, how it works. Like with like I was just talking about Stream Elements and browser sources. It's like I always wondered how Stream Elements, a third party, hooked into Twitch. You know, how would Stream Elements know that you're getting alerts? Okay, so let's say they're hooked in somehow. How do you create the, you know, okay, somehow the alert is the signal for the alert gets to Stream Elements. Somehow Stream Elements has some kind of web page that reacts to these alerts. How do I see the result of this web page in my browser? Well, that's a browser source. Yeah, so my PayPal is the one I've been using for years. That's my real name. But I noticed I think Yume's got one that's in her I think her PayPal name is actually it's Yume. So it must be a business account. I got to look into that. I mean, it's obviously not a priority, but I should figure it out to figure it out. Fuck, is that what streaming is about? It's like it's like creeping featureitis where you just have to keep learning things. No more learning. Oh, wow, you can see the I mean, I'm not too freaky about my real name being out there because I know I've doxed myself enough times. It's just I kind of want to maintain some kind of illusion. I don't know. What the heck? Oh, those are socks. I was wondering what the hell that was. Yeah, streaming. Who knew? Who knew? And I have this crippling shyness, which is actually obvious to everyone. How do I fix this? String transitions. I need a whole separate monitor just for OBS. How many monitors can I connect to my video card? 4? You know, it's funny. This morning. No, it started last night and it went into this morning when Jay was streaming. So Jay's got his VTuber. He was using his VTuber on his main channel, and he kept switching things. So every like 5 minutes, I'd hear him say, "Oh, what did I just expose? What did I just expose?" It's like I wasn't even seeing anything. So he must have been switching back and forth between scenes. So it's so funny how, I mean, he's been at it so long and he still gets lost. Yeah, I think my card's got 4 ports on it, 1 HDMI and 3 display ports. So I have 2 monitors and they're relatively modern, so they have a mix of ports. They both have a DVI. They both have They both have DisplayPort. They both have HDMI. One has DVI. But I wish they had multiple HDIs. I guess I can grab one of my TVs, but then I'd lose my desk. Because my TV, like the TV behind me, is an old Samsung. That's like circa 2010, and it's got like 5 HDMIs. like the newer TVs, right? Were higher, you know, they're 4K now, and they're dirt cheap, but then they might only have 2 or 3 inputs, 3 if you're lucky. I'm actually surprised that monitor still works as old as it is. I bought that Samsung is in a family line that I bought for my friend's deli. I helped them set up the TVs there, so I bought a 50-inch, a 40-inch. Wait, I bought 3 40-inches, a 50, and a 55. So this is back in 2009, 2010, and they're still working, and they're used 24/7. See you later, Mizo. Thanks for stopping by. Your desk is full of monitors. You know, I have 2 desks, and so one desk I have my electronics on, and one desk I have my computer. And if I had to, I could put 3 monitors on this desk. If I took this monitor that's in front of me and centered it, and then I took this monitor here and moved it out, I could put a monitor right here, which would be under where my face cam is. Or I could get one 34-inch widescreen to go right in front of me, which would give me all the screen real estate I need. And then this monitor could just be for, I could probably put OBS here and make this the utility screen. And then when I'm modding, this can be the screen for Chatterino. And then when my internet goes down, all of it becomes useless, because what's a computer that's what use is a computer that's not connected to anything? Oh my gosh, I'm over an hour. I was gonna stop at an hour. Yeah, I gotta do what Mizo's doing and actually get my day going, because I still have to do my errands. So I'm gonna end the stream right now. I'll probably see some of you on Maddie's stream later. Appreciate you stopping by, spending some time. That's cool. Wasn't expecting it, because this was an audio testing stream. But I'll talk to you guys later. If I go to my storage and get all my monitors, I would be close to Aster. What, with the number of monitors she has? You know, I could go to my storage unit and get out some old Apple CRT monitors, but they've got an Apple standard RGB connector, which is not the same as VGA. I'd have to get an adapter, and who knows if I don't think my card could handle it. Ugh. I don't ever want to go back to raster-based displays. Ugh. Anyway, I'm gonna end now. I will see you guys later, and thanks for stopping by. Okay, bye. How do you stop? Stop streaming.